What's up, y'all? Welcome back. If you can't tell by looking at me, today has been off to an amazing start. Also, excuse the raspiness of my voice in this video because I've been sick for about 2 months, guys. I'm so sorry. I have been trying to get videos out there, but a lot of mornings I have not had a voice at all. So I don't know exactly what time this wonderful thing happened last night, but sometime between when I turned off all of my tank lights and when I got up at 5 a.m. this morning to turn them on and feed my fish, my water pump on this tank over here stopped working. And I wound up losing one of my absolute favorite bettas, which was my blue mustard. I'm not super happy. I'm not super happy at all. But I figured I would take this opportunity to talk to y'all and address water pump issues. Because I know in the past I've gotten a ton of questions about the water pumps on these tanks, where people are having them malfunction or stop working entirely. Now, unfortunately, the water pump for this tank is not really just some universal water pump that you can just go out and find a replacement pump easily. I looked online, I've scoured online, I have not yet been able to find a replacement pump. Now, this is the first time that I have had an issue personally with this pump, and I've had this tank up and running for probably about 3 years now. And then the other one to my left, I've probably had going for almost 2 years now. So I've had these tanks for a pretty long time with no problems with the pump, but I know some people have a lot of problems with the pump. Now, I used to have pretty much soft acidic water where I used to live. Here I actually have a problem fighting hard water. So I have a completely different type of water that I have to deal with here versus where I was. I didn't really have hard water mineral buildup problems going on in my water pumps that now I am so happily experiencing. So I have really good news for you out there that think that your water pump is broken and that you need to replace it. It might not be broken. You might be able to save your water pump. So, this actually took me about a half an hour to fix this water pump. Hopefully this can help some of y'all out there that are struggling and having problems with that particular water pump. I know that this same exact water pump is used in a lot of the top fin tanks, so it could be a very common problem that you might run into, and you might think that your water pump is broken and that you are out of luck and that you're gonna have to replace the whole tank. But good news, you might be able to fix it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all now what I did to fix this water pump, which is pretty much the same thing I do to maintenance the water pump as well. Now, of course, before we remove this water pump, we wanna make sure to unplug. Inside here, if my camera can focus on it, here's a little tube. You just wanna pull that off of the power head so that we can pull this water pump out, which is really difficult when you're trying to hold a camera. So I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, getting the casing off of this pump is a little bit harder than it is for most of my other water pumps. So I'm just going to show you, if you see that little line right here, that's where the front of the casing is. So we're just gonna pop that off, which I figured out it's a lot easier if you pull it from the feet than if you try and pull it from the top. So here, I don't know if you can see this little notch right here. You might need a screwdriver. I think my fingernails are long enough I can pull it off. So I just pulled that off. And now here is our little impeller that we have to pull out. And I'm definitely gonna need a screwdriver to get that out. If I can pull it out all the way, there we go. So here we have our little impeller. I already cleaned this out and I already checked in here to make sure that there's no goop or anything in there. I soaked this for about 15 minutes in hot water, along with all the little pieces. I soaked it all in hot water. Now, if your water pump is really badly clogged, you can also soak it. You can add some white distilled vinegar to your soak. I absolutely love white distilled vinegar, because the great thing about white distilled vinegar is that it doesn't really leave a residue that's going to be harmful towards animals, fish, things like that. It rinses off and it works really well, especially with dealing with like calcium deposits and stuff like that. Unfortunately for me, this jammed and decided to stop working sometime in the night, and I lost a fish over it. So routine maintenance on these is very, very important. I slacked off for a while, and this was my punishment. That this stopped working and I lost a fish because of it. So always make sure that you're keeping up with routine maintenance, taking these pumps apart and rinsing them really well. You might need to even scrub them. You can use like a toothbrush or something, or a bottle brush. Anything to make sure that this is all clean and that it is all working efficiently and properly and not going to just jam up and malfunction on you in the middle of the night. So we pop this back in, plug this back into the power head, and then we're gonna plug these back in. Make sure these are dry or you might electrocute yourself. We don't want anybody getting electrocuted, okay? And then of course, we're gonna plug this back in. And as you can see, we've got water circulation. Our water pump is working just fine again, thank goodness. So anyway, guys, that's all I really have for y'all today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!